Hi guys, welcome back to another lesson on EQ5 sequences with Mrs. Manley for Integrated 1 Standard and Advanced Honors. Let's go ahead and start by reviewing what we've learned so far this EQ. So we've learned about arithmetic sequences, which increase or decrease by a common difference that we write by putting lowercase d equals. And that increase or decrease is going to be addition or subtraction. So when we look at a sequence, we're trying to find out what that common difference is for an arithmetic sequence. So the first question you should always ask yourself is, am I increasing or am I decreasing? If I'm increasing, it's going to be addition. If I'm decreasing, it's going to be subtraction. When you're doing this, you don't have to start with the first two numbers. Hey, you could start with the middle two, you could start with the last two. Just pick two friendly numbers. But I can see to go from 7 to 5, I would have to subtract 2. So then I would test it. 11 minus 2 is 9, minus 2 is 7, minus 2 is 5, and so on. In the bottom example, 3 plus what is 9? 6. 9 plus 6 is 15, 15 plus 6 is 21, and so on. Excuse me. We also learned about geometric sequences, which increase or decrease by a common ratio, lowercase r equals, and it's going to be multiplication or division. So in example 1 down here, we have 2, negative 10, 50, negative 250. So we have to decide, are our numbers increasing or are they decreasing? Technically, they're increasing and decreasing because it's going positive, negative, positive, negative. So if we think about the absolute value, just think about the numbers themselves without the signs. We go from 2 to 10 to 50 to 250. So their numbers are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which tells us multiplication. So 2 times what is 10 would give me 5. And then I would think to myself, okay, I'm going positive, negative, positive, negative. Anytime with multiplication that you're going positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, it's going to be a negative ratio because a positive times a negative makes a negative, then a negative times a negative makes a positive, and so on. Down in example 2 under geometric sequences, my numbers are getting smaller. If you don't know how it changes from 125 to 25, go to the next two. 25 divided by 5 gives me 5, and then 5 divided by 5 gives me 1. We just have to remember that when we write it, we don't write r equals 5, we write r equals 1 over 5. Okay, 1 over 5. We've also learned the arithmetic explicit formula. A sub n equals a sub 1 plus d times n minus 1. And we can use this formula to find any term in an arithmetic sequence. So in the example that we did previously, we remember that the n's stand for the number we're trying to find, which is the 39th term. So a sub 39 equals a sub 1 is my first term, which is 60. D is my common difference, which in this case, I'm subtracting 7. So minus 7. N again is the term that I'm trying to find, minus 1. So we would have a sub 39 equals 60 minus 7 times 38. And then we would just multiply it in our calculator. Then we learn the geometric explicit formula. It does the same thing. It can find any term using multiplication or division. So on this one, again, n is the term we're trying to find, which in this case is the 10th. So g sub 10 equals g sub 1, first term 3, times my common ratio. 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27, so 3. And then n minus 1 is my exponent. So I would get g sub 10 equals 3 times 3 to the 9th power. And then when I would multiply it in my calculator. So that's what we've learned so far. And now we're just going to apply that to a couple of practice problems. So Melanie has agreed to donate $5,000 to Laverne High School's Project Lit program. In addition, she will donate $25 for every book a student in the club reads during the school year. The sequence shown represents the possible amounts that Melanie will be donating for the school year. So we can see the $5,000 she said she would give us. And then we can also see the plus 25 for every book read. So when we go down to look for our explicit formula, a couple things to think about. I know my first term has to be 5,000, so I can get rid of D. And I already know it told me $25 for every book, so 25 plus 25 plus 25. So my common difference is going to be plus 25. So I can get rid of C because it doesn't have plus 25. And then I have to remember that it's always 25 times n minus 1. So I would get B. So you're doing the same thing we've been doing, it's just applying it to a word problem. Okay, next up. What is the 12th term of the arithmetic sequence defined by the formula a sub n equals 300 plus 110 times n minus 1? So on this one, you're just plugging in. So we're going to have a sub 12 equals 300, which would have been my first term, plus a common difference of 110 times n, 12, the term I'm trying to find, minus 1. So a sub 12 equals 300 plus 110 times 11. And then we're just going to multiply. And we'll get 1,400. Let me try that again. I'm going to double check that. 110 times 11. Yeah, that should have given me 1,210 plus 300. 1,500. Next up, a scientist is recording the number of cells in a petri dish. Each hour, a cell divides into 3 cells. The sequence shown represents the growth of the cells. So here's my sequence. Which explicit formula represents the situation? You can see all of the formulas they gave us are geometric, so we know this is geometric. So when we take a look, it's increasing, which means I'm multiplying. So what am I multiplying by? 1 times 3 is 3, 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27. So my ratio is going to be 3. My first term is going to be 1, because I know I need G sub n equals first term of 1 times 3 to the n minus 1 power. So that gives me answer choice A. And that's basically it, guys. You've learned everything. It was just applying it to those couple of additional types of problems. So you have a review activity to do today. The numbers are cut off just a little bit, but basically for 1 through 5, you're going to answer 3 things. Is it arithmetic or geometric? What's the common difference or ratio? And then identify the next 3 terms. For 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, you're using the explicit formula to find the term that you are asked for. And then once you're finished, if you go to the next screen, you'll be able to see the answer key. Okay. This is all I'm going to give you for today, plus your LHS Mastery. Remember that now that we are following the block schedule, you'll follow the exact same schedule as the students in school. So Monday classes, that's my even classes. Your LHS Mastery is due by 3:30 end of the school day on Wednesday. 3:30 end of the school day on Wednesday. On Wednesday, you will have your quiz over EQ5, and we'll be starting EQ6. Okay, so here's what you need to be thinking about. That LHS Mastery shouldn't be something that you're waiting until Wednesday to do, because if you're waiting until Wednesday to do your LHS Mastery, you're adding something on top of your assignments for the day. Okay, your homework is always part of your Monday assignment. So on a day like today, for example, when your video is very short and you're just doing a review assignment that you can check, then after that, you should go ahead and jump into your LHS Mastery, get it completed, and get it turned in. Because technically, you have all of Monday, all of Tuesday to complete it, and then it's due by the end of the school day, the actual school day on Wednesday. Okay, have a great day, and let me know if you have any questions.